Next up at UFC Denver, we have the main event of the evening. New main event of the evening. We have Rose Namajunas, who was supposed to fight Macy Barber, now taking on Tracy Cortez. Tracy Cortez was supposed to fight next week. She was supposed to fight next week. Instead of a 3-round fight a week from now, she has a 5-round fight.
Gracias, Dan.
Rose Namajunas, 12-6 in her career, 3-2 in her last 5, coming off that close win over Amanda Ribas. Taking on Tracy Cortez, 11-1 in her career, 5-0 in her last 5, riding an 11-fight win streak. She lost her pro debut and hasn't lost since. We all know Rose by now. Yes, she's cringe. She's kind of brutal in the interviews, a little bit clueless, has some of the worst coaching we've ever seen. Actually, that's not true. Trevor Whitman, phenomenal coach. I don't think she's working with Trevor Whitman anymore. I think it's just her and her man. And that's a wild situation. With all of that being said, though, she's an incredibly talented fighter who has accomplished everything you could ever want or need to accomplish. She was the strawweight champion of the world multiple times over and has beaten some of the best women on planet Earth. Jessica Andrade, Weili Zhang, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, Tisha Torres.
Me and Joanna had quite the moment, didn't we?
Joanna and Weili could literally both end up. Joanna's in the Hall of Fame. Weili will probably end up also in the Hall of Fame, and Jessica Andrade probably not. She is a former champion herself, but it depends what she does.
Jessica Andrade, me and her had a moment too.
Either way, Rose Namajunas has accomplished all the things.
That dog in the background.
Dude, I think Tiffany just got home, so he's just being a mess. Rose Namajunas, very good striker, very good jiu-jitsu, literally very good everywhere. She is coming off of that win over Amanda Ribas, where she did get taken down 4 times. And that matters here because she's fighting a wrestler. She's fighting Tracy Cortez, and that's exactly what Tracy Cortez is, a wrestler. Tracy Cortez is looking to come forward and get you to the ground. She's got very good jiu-jitsu, but she's not finishing fights. The jiu-jitsu there is basically defensive at this point to control positions. She is listed as having a positive striking differential. She did outstrike Jasmine Jasudavicius, but she's not a very good striker. She's got the positive striking differential because she spends so much time on top because she's grinding out decisions. Tracy beating Jasmine Jasudavicius in a striking match in her last fight could actually be a problem here. It might convince her that she could outstrike Rose. She cannot outstrike Rose. She can't do it. So then it comes down to, can Tracy Cortez out-wrestle Rose? And you might say, well, Amanda Ribas took down Rose 4 times.
Ooh.
But Amanda Ribas is big, and I get that Tracy's big as well, but Amanda Ribas is big and does those bully takedowns, side headlocks, drags, trips, where Tracy is shooting takedowns. And we talked about this about an hour and a half ago when we talked about Fatima. We talked about Luana Santos. Defending judo tosses is much harder to do than actual traditional takedowns. Tracy Cortez is shooting traditional takedowns. I'm not a Rose fan. I think Rose wins this fight, and I honestly think it's easy. Dude, I think she defends the takedowns. I think she takes over. I think she makes Tracy look not very good, and your weird glazing glasses bullshit isn't going to age very well. Who do you think wins?
You give me 2-1, $100 again on this one?
Yeah.
You can owe me another $300 after
Actually, it's not 2-1. It's
okay.
It's on my side, 2-1. Yeah, but why are you getting even? All right, fine, 2-1.
Do whatever you want to do, Angela. Whatever you want to do.
No, go ahead.
Oh my God. Woo! Okay, let me start off by, might be a little bit biased. I don't know if I am or not. It's hard telling. I'm not a big Rose fan for what happened in that last fight with Amanda Ribas, and I do obviously have a little bit of a thing with Tracy Cortez. You know, we were talking at the Apex. I was there. I'm the only person in the world that has ever told Tracy Cortez to get the fuck out of my picture. You can watch my vlog when I was at the Apex. I walked up to Tracy Cortez. She was with Cutman Tate. They were talking. I said, "Can I get a picture?" They're like, "Yeah, let's get a picture." picture? And he's like, actually, just take one with me. And I'm like, fuck yeah. And Tracy's like trying to get the picture. And I was like, get the fuck out of here, Tracy. We're trying to take a fucking picture. And I guarantee every night when she goes to sleep, the last thing she thinks about is me turning her down for a picture, because I guarantee it's never happened before. And that's my moment with Tracy. So I might be a little bit biased. But let me get back to reality, because Rose, and this isn't a mean thing to say, but that fight that was made with Amanda Ribas, that main event fight, that was a fight for Rose. 100% fight for Rose. When that fight was first even rumored, it was supposed to be on UFC 300. It was on that picture that everyone was sharing. I'm like, there's no way in hell Amanda Ribas is going to take that fight. Her camp knows that's one of the worst stylistic matchups that you could have at 115 or at 124, whatever it was. I was like, there's no way. Then it was announced, and I was like, oh, fuck. Because I know how good Amanda is, and I know that she's a tough girl, but she walks in the shots, and that was supposed to be the fight for Rose to be at 125 and to show off coming off the Manon fight, right? That was a tough fight. She broke her fight. Okay, here's Amanda Ribas. Go dominate. That didn't fucking happen. She looked fucking slow. She was tossed around. And to Amanda's credit, she walked forward, had the pressure, was able to get the takedowns, and Amanda looked good in that fight. But it was a lot of Amanda looking in that fight, but a lot of Rose did not look the same. She's not with Trevor Whitman. She's got Fat Barry just barking at her, yelling random shit at all times. This is what we talked about. I think there was one point where Amanda tried that headlock takedown, and Fat Barry literally was like, there's that dumbass headlock we talked about, Rose. There's that dumbass headlock. And then Amanda fucking ripped her to the ground, and I said, there's that dumbass headlock, Fat Barry, you piece of shit. The way he's fucking yelling the entire fight. She has regressed coming away from Trevor Whitman. Tracy Cortez is somebody that has shown improvements every single time she fights. People were watching that Jasmine fight like, holy shit, now she knows how to box. She didn't even use her wrestling in that fight, was able to win a 30-27 on 2 scorecards against a very tough, tenacious Jasmine. People talk about, well, but Jacob, it's 5 rounds. It's 5 rounds. She was slowing down versus Jasmine, Jacob. Jasmine is a zombie that will always move forward no matter what and could counter the wrestling and use wrestling on her own. Rose ain't that person. I guarantee Fat Barry's got the game plan that they're going to use against Carla. Dance around. Keep your distance. She's going to get tired. They're booing, Rose. You're doing great because they're booing. But Tracy Cortez is going to be much more advancing in the striking than Carla Esparza. She's shown off much improved hands. I think she's going to have more success in the striking than people realize, and then she's going to get to those takedowns and control Rose just like Amanda Ribas was doing. Amanda got a little bit too aggressive in the grappling. Tracy Cortez is more position over submission, and she will keep control when she gets on top, and I think Tracy Cortez is going to fucking dominate this fight. And I bet her, and I had that $200 parlay with her and Jean Silva to win $900, and we're taking it to the fucking bank. Tracy Cortez, ¿cómo está? Muy bien, ¿y tú?
Listen, I agree with everything you said about the Rose coaching situation, but I don't think it matters. I think she's just too
Rose
good.
Loses to Tracy.
Dude, I think defending double leg and single leg shots is a very different, more straightforward game than defending Amanda Ribas' just ripping your head to the ground. It's very different. And I think she'll have success doing it. But that's why I love this sport, because we'll find out.
I love it too, because I'm getting rich off your dumbass bets.
$9,000 in DraftKings. You do have 5 rounds to work with, but I don't think I'm going to spend that money. I do think this most likely goes to a decision. So I don't think the $9,000 is going to make a lot of sense in DraftKings Fantasy. If you think Tracy has even some success, $7,200 could be worth it. A couple of takedowns, a little bit of control. $7,200 is not a terrible price point.
I think she's live for a finish.
Dude, the only time Rose was finished is when she got spiked on her head by
I think she's live for Amanda.
Jessica
Almost finished her. She's just
Jack
fucking
Duntrash.
turned up. Amanda's just beating the shit out of her. I'm yelling, stop the fight, Jason.
That was for a second and a half.
That was a good 30 seconds of just getting the shit beat out of her. And she's lucky the round ended because Amanda had hooks in on her back, and then the round ended.
Well,
and Rose just going like this. Oh, and Fat Barry's like, just survive, Rose, just survive.
Either way, this should be an exciting. People are like, oh, all the memes online are like back-to-back women's MMA main events. Listen, next week's interesting. Next week's matters in the rankings. But this one is actually a very interesting. I'm curious what happens here. Rose is a former champion of the world. We do have a comment.
What were the odds for that fight, by the way?
I don't know. I don't remember what they were because it dropped pretty early. Matt Pauly said, long-time listener, first time catching you guys live. Love the show. Premium is 1,000% worth it. Thank you very much, Matt. And
like
Tiny
the
Shaft
video
said,
if you haven't already. Like the video, please.
Tiny Shaft said Rose is overrated. Listen,
Tiny Shaft.
I don't understand how you can say Rose is overrated. Genuinely. And I don't like Rose.
She looked awful in that last fight. Everyone says
okay,
that.
fine. Let's say she looked bad in her last fight. That means her entire career is overrated. A multiple time lost the belt.
200.
Lost the belt to come back and win it again.
Nobody's talking about her career. They're talking about her
That's
as a
what he's
fighter
talking
right
about.
now.
She's
he's talking about her as a
overrated.
fighter right now is overrated. She shouldn't be minus 200. That's what they're saying. She's overrated.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You
Either way,
said she's going to dominate this fight. That's what they're talking about. She's overrated.
Okay, and I'm saying I don't think so. I disagree.
Well, you're fucking wrong, dude. Get a grip.
Her losses are to only champions.
Get a
and
grip.
former
We're not talking
champions.
about the last. We're talking about the last fight she showed. She's just not who she was anymore.
And she won that fight. And the fight before that, she lost a close decision to a giant.
Fight. You were very vocal that you thought she lost that fight.
Because I have a big favor of wrestling, and people think that's obviously stupid, and nobody agrees with it. And anybody who thinks Isaac Dogarian lost that fight certainly
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Dan. Guys, become a premium member. It's only $10 a month. But before you do that, I'll send you $50. Go to WeWantPicks.com/bet. Sign up. Make a deposit using any of our affiliate links, and we will send you $50 as a thank you. You can then take that money, become a premium member. You can unlock the very brand new Prop Hunter tool. It's available for existing premium members because we're not touching that price point, and new members will have instant access. Just go to WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member at the top. That $10 for an entire month will get you the Prop Hunter, the line movement tracker, the detailed data, metrics, and analytics, the DraftKings optimizer.
Mine's plus 118 now.
Preloaded with the best ownership projections in the game. And you're going to get far more than just me and handsome Jake over here. Artem's giving you his UFC picks, bets, his PFL picks, his Bellator picks, LFA. And you're going to get the artificial intelligence that is picking fights at remarkable accuracy. Jakey boy, any last words for the people before I shut this thing down?
Yeah, leave a comment what you think about the new facial. And it's going to grow in. It's going to be looking nice. I mean, this is going to be a sharp stash with a nice little grippy thing here. It'll feel nice on your chin.
Thanks for the watch.